And welcome back to Next Up Podcasting. We are back with another show. My name's Justin League, and we have a special guest with us today, but we also have our man Tyler Cosby, and our special guest today is DeAndre. What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How about yourself?
And I'm doing great.
Doing good myself. Doing good.
Man. Good. Another big week, man. Another big week for us.
So yeah, with that, what's up with the NFL world right now?
Man, some news in the NFL again this week. Odell Beckham heading over to the Rams. That was not one of our picks last week.
Not at all. I would not have said that.
We had Chiefs, Packers, Saints were the three teams that he was honing in on.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Belichick was
working. Yeah, he was working, but it didn't work. It was working, but it didn't work.
Oh yes, I was crossing my.
Oh man, Mac needs it. Mac needed it.
Come on.
But so he went there. So I mean, him going to the Rams, kind of a surprise. Definitely a surprise to me. That was not something I would.
Not at all what I was thinking.
How do you feel? What are your thoughts first on? Do you think
all right.
he's going now? First to touch on that though, with him going there, same day, Robert Woods tears his ACL.
So I think that.
That
was weird. That was weird.
You have three. At first, you have Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and throwing in Odell Beckham, and then now you've got Robert Woods hurt. Does that hurt Odell or help?
So for me, I feel like that actually helps Odell. Main reason I feel it helps Odell is going to get him more targets, but based on what Sean McVay was saying and all the stuff he had going on, he was basically saying, like, I'm going to get him in the offense or special team something. He was returning punts off first, or he said he was going to return punts off for it. What I did notice is that off his first snap, they gave him a target. So it was like basically what they shown the crowd was, we're going to feed Odell. So we got him. We're going to deal with the prima donna. But with that, they did take an L. But I don't think that was on Odell. It seemed like the rest of the receiving core, he showed up and they did.
They did not. It was. I mean,
offense was just lost low key.
Yeah, slow as hell.
Yeah, everybody. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, Robert Woods. That kind of it helps, but hurts. You know what I mean? Just because again, that's another target that you have to plan for on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And with that, I think, I don't know. It could, you know what I'm saying? It'll help Odell's production because there's then another receiver that it takes away from. But I don't know. I mean, I think that would have been a crazy trio right there. So
I felt like the trio had a lot of potential, but really a trio receiving core doesn't work with that man. So I'm going to go ahead and say
this benefits him a little
it
bit
benefits him a lot more than he ever would think.
For sure. Let's see. Speaking on the injuries, with Chase Young. Yeah, Chase Young went down this week with an ACL injury, so his season will be done. As far as that's definitely a huge blow to the
defense.
Washington football team.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a freak, though, so I think he'll be back fine next year. I don't think that does anything to him too much. But
so, ACL injuries are just crazy, man. They make you second guess whether they'll even bounce back at all or whether that'll be the same athlete. But like you said, Chase Young's a fucking freak, and we've seen plenty of people bounce back from ACLs at this point. We know people that are bouncing back after now 3 or 4 months of an ACL injury, and sometimes
crazy.
And even with surgery, 6 months.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, nothing really crazy else on injury wire. Actually, some news today. Only thing that I'm seeing right now, outside of what we've already said, is Le'Veon Bell got cut today from the Ravens. So he's back being a free agent. Done.
So I actually had the stats to look this up. He had like 11 carries for 83 yards or something like that. No, it was like 30 carries for 83 yards. He averaged like 2.5 yards a carry. Dude's done. I'm at a point where it's not Adrian Peterson. He doesn't have the extra juice. he's been now in 3 different systems, and they've all shown he's going to get maximum 3 yards a carry. And at this point, that's where he is at his career.
I know. I know. And I honestly, I thought that was going to be a good fit for him there.
I really did, because they were running the ball a decent amount. I thought he wasn't going to get a lot of touches, but he was going to get 10 to 15 a game, and they really weren't even giving him that.
I mean, I was rooting for him. I mean, because now he left the Steelers, and ever since then, nothing. And now he went to the Jets, which that was his own doing.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
He thought it was going to open him up a little bit more, but it didn't.
Did not. And then he free agent ended up being with the Chiefs last year.
Yeah, I think he was with the Chiefs
Won his
for a
Super
little
Bowl,
bit.
but I mean,
How much can you really count that Super Bowl?
I mean, he
for
didn't
real?
do anything for it. And then this year, nobody. All these running back issues for the Ravens come out, and I'm thinking like, okay, it's a great fit.
Mm-hmm. But it didn't seem like he took advantage of the opportunity that was really given to him at all.
Nothing. So, but yeah, outside of that, man, that's what we're looking like as far as any of the headlining news since last week. So,
so we know injuries are always going to be a big news, but what scores jumped out to you this weekend that was just like, holy crap, what happened?
I mean, where do we start? There was a bunch. I mean, we can start with our Thursday night game. Looks like we've got the Ravens losing to the Dolphins, 22-10. And I will say, we went through the schedule at the end of our segment last week, and me and you were like, all right, let's make some picks here. Yeah, that if we would have actually kept track, which we should probably start doing.
Yeah, I can do that definitely.
But yeah, it was not a good week for us. So I'm glad we're not keeping track of that yet, because we would have been
let's keep track.
Terrible. So
let's keep track. I might be okay with the 0-10 records. We might trend set on that.
We need to readjust. But so that was a big one right there. Definitely didn't expect that. I mean, shoot, Tua didn't even start the game. Then came in after Brissett was not looking very good at all. Yeah, I mean, that was just another game where the Ravens, you just kind of look like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, with the Ravens, I was also thinking about the AFC North, and we were all talking about it outside, how Bengals had the best week and didn't play at all. You got the Steelers tying with the Lions, which is one of the funniest things in the Steelers this week, this year. It's last year with their 11-0, but now tying with the worst team in football.
You got Mason Rudolph that was, starting. He's trash. But he started, you know what I mean? And you have some injuries, which I get it, but fuck the Steelers.
But also we had the Browns getting smacked by me and DeAndre's team with the Patriots.
Go Pats!
But with that, dude, did you watch Mac Jones? That looked like a 5-year vet.
Oh yeah, sure did.
In his 10th game this year?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, 19 for 23, 198 yards and 3 tutties.
Yeah,
I mean,
and in Belichick's system, you don't need to throw for 300. You're not
no.
throwing for 300 is a bad day for Belichick, because that means his system isn't working.
Well, and another stat line that actually sticks out to me in that one is Stevenson, the running back. 20 carries for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. The fact that he had 20 carries, I mean, I guess Damon Harris, he's been getting a
He actually got hurt.
I know he's been hurt, but I'm saying does he carry the load like that?
So
he is now.
He's like their main power back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing is, with the Patriots in general, it seems like since the last couple of years with Brady, we've ran it like 20, 30 times a game. Have to, and if we don't, it seems like it's an L.
Right.
But also with the NFL, we had the crazy game with the Chiefs kind of catching their groove again and smacking up on the Raiders 41-14. So I watched that game a little bit, caught a little bit, and then
woke up.
Yeah, it seems like him and the offense around him just kind of had a little bit of an awakening around them.
He threw for 50 times. Jesus.
So, yeah, with I was trying to find a good comparison to Pat Mahomes, and the only one I can find is Brett Favre.
I mean,
Gunslinger, yeah. I can see
I
that.
mean,
Gunslinger
huge
doesn't mind the
gunslinger
interceptions,
Right.
And at this point
Not
is
afraid to go back out and sling it again.
again right after.
yeah, and the way that he's being used now. It's 50 times a game. That's
I mean-
Brett Favre was one of the very first QBs to throw for that many times.
Exactly. I know. That's what I mean. It's a great comparison though, just because I mean, and obviously, way more athletic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, by far. He watching him during the Super Bowl was just like, this man on the
Oh, yeah.
field does look like the Michael Jordan of this damn game. He
Oh,
just
yeah.
looks like he's better than everybody else on the field. It is insane.
There was not a throw that he couldn't. I mean,
Not
that he can't make. But
Sitting, his body is lateral, parallel to the ground, throws a sidearm pass that hits Tyreek Hill in the face mask during the Super
Yeah, you
Bowl.
should've
That's
caught
still
it.
one
that
of
he
those
should have
insane
caught.
things.
You should've caught that. You
They
should've
should have
caught
caught. But yeah, I mean, do the Chiefs have their groove back? We'll see. I mean, it's one game. You know what I mean? And it's against a struggling now, completely dismantled.
Really
Raiders
felt
team.
that he was directing.
Here, watch this again.
I mean, you got Ruggs.
No, he's already reaching.
Gone. You've got the head coach situation. You know, I mean, there's a lot going on there. So, I mean, we'll see. Let's see what happens with the Chiefs moving forward. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, they're not getting better.
So the thing is, they are also in one of the toughest divisions in football. Carolina's now coming back and becoming a football team.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 3-2 in the division,
True.
so I'll give them that. But
Yeah.
I mean,
And then you got Tampa Bay and New Orleans in the same division. That's
Right.
rough.
I mean,
the
New
fact
Orleans
that
ain't the same with the QB situation though.
true.
we talked about that last week. That's why I didn't think.
No offense, but they're not.
No,
the
I
same.
mean that's
Trevor Simeon.
not a.
That
that's
was
not
that
true.
was the whole reason why we didn't think Odell was going to go down
right.
there.
'Cause we- yeah. So
Fuck no.
you know, it's just one of those where
He looks goofy with a helmet
But-
on.
he does. I mean,
Goofy.
but like you mentioned last week,
Goofy
they
ass.
they've got Tom Brady's number.
Man,
The
it-
defense did. The defense.
Well, they
did.
do.
Dude, it's
but
the
like
so I don't think people have woken up to this, but the only way to beat Tom Brady is a fucking pass rush.
Oh yeah, you gotta rush his
You
ass.
got
You gotta.
Cam Jordan is the reason why
They going
that
ahead.
New Orleans beats their
100%.
ass every year, and Tom Brady's got to be lucky that this man no longer plays them because the Bucks actually used to have his number because Ngamaku Suh
Yes.
used to kill the middle of our O-line every single year, and the Bucks had our number for a minute. Honestly, it's pass rushes.
It is.
When we were the Patriots,
It
the
is.
Bucks would kill us.
it is, and that's exactly what it is. And actually, speaking of the Saints, they actually fell to the Titans, 23-21.
That was unfortunate. I was feeling some type of way when they actually caught that touchdown last minute. I was like,
Oh,
"Ooh,
yeah.
just gotta go for two." And there it is. But nah, like damn.
That was a close game. Close
Very
game
close,
right there.
very
And
close.
Titans are, I mean, they're rolling. They're 8-2. I mean,
Questionable. I mean, I still like them.
well,
but
they're questionable now. They don't have.
that loss to the Jets, I can't swallow that. I'm like, really? Y'all lost to the Jets of all people? You lose to the Jets?
I mean, the Bengals lost to the Jets.
Right,
True.
and also they're
True.
out their number one back.
I was gonna say Derrick Henry, and you know what's crazy?
Henry is
so
gone.
I saw this stat actually, which actually will lead into this next
No
score.
offense to Jesse.
But yeah, but so the leading rusher for the NFL right now is a tie between Taylor from Indiana
Uh-huh.
or Indianapolis,
Indianapolis.
and
Wild.
And he's still leading in touchdowns, isn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe
That's insane.
Now,
insane.
Jonathan Taylor, though, man, kind
a
of going
beast.
into that, you know, the Colts came away 23-17. Should have been a little. Dude, Taylor just going off again. Another 21 carries, 116 yards and a touchdown.
He's a top 5 back in the league right now.
Oh,
he,
I mean,
he is insane.
Shoot, he's about to be, as of depending on next week's stats, he'll be leading the league. I mean, one more yard and he's beating Derrick Henry. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that's now your front runner of best back in the league. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, Carson Wentz threw 34 times for only 180 yards.
Isn't
I
it
just,
weird to kind of see him blowing up now?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I
don't
feel
think,
like they're kind of adopting the same type of system that the Patriots have, where it's run first mentality, and
And
if
it
our
has to
quarterback has to do something, it's going to be
It's-
like wide the fuck open schemed up.
Right, yeah.
And I just don't like wins, honestly, personally.
So
Like,
for me with Wentz is that I hate undurable or non-durable QBs because I hate question marks at the beginning of my season. You get hit in the
Right.
preseason, I don't even want to play you at that point.
I mean, right.
So that's one thing I have with Carson, but also the other thing is that kind of it's Andrew Luck without his IQ because they
Right.
can't give up on the play, but also they need to.
Right.
It's Luck figured out when to, and for some reason that the
Right.
Wentz can't.
Man, luck.
Overrated? Do you think Wentz is overrated? No? Yes? No? I'm kind of.
So the only reason I believe he is overrated is his MVP season was
hurt, didn't he?
well, he ends up getting hurt, and then his backup
They
goes
gave
to
him
the Super Bowl and wins the Super Bowl.
he did get him there.
No, he got him to the playoffs.
True. To the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then Foles took over, and then he gets him to the gets him
won
to
the
does
Super
what
Bowl.
Foles does. 'Cause,
And won
you
the
know,
Super Bowl.
yeah, and won the Super Bowl.
Against Tom
So
fucking Brady.
also, yeah, I mean,
I hated that Super Bowl low
Wonder how you guys
mediocre
like that.
quarterbacks have our team's number.
God damn.
But
It was a good ass game. I ain't gonna
so
hold you.
I will say that he could, if you wanted to say, is a bust completely because
Oh,
his one team ended up winning the Super Bowl with the backup. So how much influence
Right.
does the quarterback have on it at that point?
I mean, you're not
So
lying.
you expect the backup just to come in and just start sucking ass because the starter's out?
Look
Well-
at the fucking Saints. Look at every other place in football beside. I mean, even
Well,
the Jets
okay.
had their wake up call this week, or last week with Mike White.
Even this week.
Yeah, I mean, backup quarterbacks don't have a history of being fucking good.
Now,
Yeah.
in the defense of Mike White, Zach Wilson's not much better, but
Oh God, no.
Well,
Oh,
Mike
no
White
offense.
just kind of proved that Zach Wilson's the biggest bust I've ever seen. How the fuck in 1 year you go up all the way to 2? Like, that never fucking happens.
No.
It happened in Joe Burrow. It happened, and I will say that would be the one reason why you take the risk. Is because is he the next Joe Burrow? Because Burrow's a fucking dog.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so
But
then
BYU, you could have figured that out with the fact he went to BYU, though.
But on the other end, it's BYU, and you're looking good, and
Because
your
of-
whole receiving core is a bunch of fucking white boys.
I mean,
What team can your quarterback is a star and his whole receiving core is a bunch of white boys? It doesn't work like that at any level of football.
the Patriots.
I mean, unless
No, we have our two outsides have to be.
No,
some
I
big
mean
guys.
not this year. I'm just saying
In
throughout
general.
history,
we got
that's
more
a
color
team
this year. Actually, I
that would have
appreciate
that would have
more.
been that would have been a team with Brady.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, the
That-
squad was tight though.
But yeah, but speaking of the Jets, Bills trampled the fucking Jets 45-17. It was only that close just because of some garbage time bullshit. We touched on the Lions versus Steelers tie, which, haha.
Right.
Bucks, we touched, or did we? Oh, we didn't even talk about
We
that.
didn't. We kind of we brushed over the Bucks loss, but that's something we kind of do on this podcast. We brush over Brady losses. We don't like those.
But Brady losing, well, the Buccaneers losing 29-19 against the Washington football team. Definitely a surprise there. Was not.
Expecting that.
No, that was definitely one of those. Me and him kind of both were like,
That's an
oh
easy
yeah,
game.
walk on through. Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, really. That'd just be easy
40
dub.
burger. 40
Well,
burger.
really, that's what I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a 40 dub, just like with the Patriots with the
Right,
Browns,
right.
but
Oh,
that
yeah.
ended up not happening
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Next one I got. Was he? What did he do after he scored? It was the.
I'm back.
So Panthers just demolishing the Cardinals 34. They're a little injury plagued right now on the offense, so but still a fucking dominating performance by the Panthers.
All right, but how cool was it that the
Oh,
first 2 times
I
Cam
know.
Newton touched the fucking
was
ball,
fine.
he
Touchdown.
scored?
You knew,
Touchdown.
and you knew. I
But,
mean,
goal line offense.
You know-
you
I
knew
mean,
QB power was coming.
what else
man.
was he
Yeah,
gonna
of
do?
course.
He hasn't even opened up the
big as hell.
playbook. He hasn't opened up the playbook.
Right, no, of
Well,
course he
that
does.
was also the great thing about the second thing he threw. They were like, "Oh yeah, QB power is going no. No, I'm just gonna throw the easiest out route.
Yeah.
The easiest out route. Roll out route, dub, touchdown."
Crazy.
Yeah, it was really cool to see Cam Newton beat.
No, it was. McCaffrey, looking like McCaffrey.
Yep.
13 carries, 95 yards, 10 receptions, 66 yards. A McCaffrey type day. Let's see, next one. Close game, which we did say this was going to be a close game. Vikings-Chargers.
Yeah.
27-20, Vikings took that one. I didn't expect the Vikings to come away with that. I do believe I picked the Chargers. Close game. Came right down to the wire. Vikings scoring there at the last little seconds there, and just kind of holding that one off. Nothing really taken away from that one. Dalvin Cook had a nice game. 24 carries, 94 yards. Tutty. Justin Jefferson coming away with 9 receptions, 143 yards. He had a great day. Outside of that, though, I mean, like I said, nothing really to take away from that. Next one I got here, we got Eagles beating the Broncos 30-13. Again, really no highlights really to kind of touch on that.
Devontae Smith had him a day, though.
Yeah, Devontae Smith had a day. I believe it was his birthday. He had what? Yeah, I think he had
Two tutters, I think?
two
Two
touchdowns
two
and
tutters.
over 100.
Nice. Good day for him.
Yeah.
Good day for his fantasy owners.
Yeah, for sure. Another one here is Packers Seahawks. Packers shutting out the Seahawks, man. I mean,
was the Seahawks? Is it Russell Wilson or is it
no, it was Russell.
Wilson? Okay.
It was Russell, and that was
So-
his first time in
I just
history
wanted
that
to
he's
make
ever
sure.
been shut out.
Yeah.
Also,
Just wanna make
it
sure.
was the first time in like 20 games he hasn't thrown a touchdown.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
It was something insane like that.
Yeah.
He threw 2 picks instead. It was one of his worst outings he's had in his career.
And that was coming back off that hand injury.
Hand injury, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now was that on his throwing hand?
Yes, right hand.
I believe it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was throwing.
But I don't even think that was the reason for that.
I think it was the weather on top of that, and his hand. His hand.
Yeah. And I mean the Packers.
Guess
did.
who? Guess who else fucking came back?
Man,
Aaron
I
Rodgers
mean,
after the
of course.
COVID fucking protocol.
That's
of course.
COVID though.
But-
COVID versus your hand.
Man, when they're talking about you on fucking Fox News
Yeah.
because you decided that I kind of got vaccinated, kind of did, and now everybody's gonna take the political.
Yeah.
Kinda
Look,
gonna take the
listen.
political- Well, that was the fun part.
He identified as
job.
vaccinated.
No, he
So-
actually identified as non-vaccinated, but he took a vaccination that he felt was appropriate for his body, but was not approved by the NFL. So he told people he wasn't, so he told people he was vaccinated, but in the facility he was identified as a non-vaccinated person. So we had to go through all the testing and everything.
Everything either way.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they.
Ironic. Think about it.
All of the stuff that he did 2 interviews that week on Pat McAfee. All of that stuff was being showed on Fox News. Do you not think this motherfucker was like, I'm sick of being on TV, not throwing touchdowns, and I'm still on TV? He's like, no, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna show out, and you guys are gonna stop talking about COVID. We're gonna just talk about how I beat the fuck out of Russell Wilson on his
I
comeback
mean, he
game.
did.
Yeah.
I'll give it to him.
And he did. I mean, it was a good game. I mean, he threw 292
I'm still thinking
yards.
though, like, all right, Russell's reason for having a shitty day. Excuse me. I'm thinking it's basically his hand.
Yeah,
That's
I
got to
agree.
mess with you in some way, shape,
Yeah,
or form.
no
Like,
facts.
for sure.
pull
But
that off.
shit, they still didn't even score 8 points.
Yeah, that was
But-
that was wild.
Um,
That was wild.
And then the last one,
Good
which
though
I
for
know
Green
we
Bay.
kind of talked about it, but not the game. The 49ers beat the Rams 31-10. I mean, that was
Hilarious.
they beat them up.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
imagine
So
leaving Cleveland.
I mean,
LA and then losing. Damn.
yeah. I mean, it was like they put in there. It was a humbling game for them, which is fine. Dallas had that the week before, came back out this week and did what they did. So I think it'll be fine. I mean, like we said last week, the first game that he comes in, do we judge that game?
Yeah, because
Now, they lost. I get it. And I mean, they're 7-3. They're one of the top teams out there.
Mhm.
But, you know what I mean? That's where it's like, it's okay. It's all right. It's one game. You know what I mean? And then now let's see what they do after that. Because Von Miller came back after an ankle injury.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple of these players where it's just, let's let them kind of get in and,
Yeah.
you know.
But on that same game, man, fucking Cooper Kupp is a goddamn dog.
11 receptions, 122 yards.
This man is pulling out 100-yard games out of his ass like it isn't
Every week.
shit. Like,
Every week.
is he sleeping with Matthew Stafford at this point? I know they eat lunch together and everything.
Listen,
but
I have the combo on my fantasy squad, and it's a beautiful thing.
what? That's got to be like 50 points a game.
I mean, just between, it's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing.
All right,
too.
look, real quick. Okay, look. All that aside, that was not. If they would have let it, if they would have allowed it, that would have been probably catch of the year. That pick.
Oh, yeah.
Come on,
where-
they should have
yeah,
gave it to
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Really, PI? Okay, sure.
Yeah. No, that was
Okay,
definitely.
sure. Come on, like, right between his butt.
He's a
Blood pick.
Yeah.
But-
Came down.
With that, did you guys watch the Manning cast? So I became
I
a
wish I
big
did.
fan of the Manning cast.
That's
Yes.
just hilarious, man.
So there's moments on there where you kind of see different, like all the other players' different personalities just coming
Right.
out in a different way, and God, the Mannings are the best NFL family you can find. They're the
Dude.
biggest cornballs.
Oh, yeah.
They can only think and breathe football.
I know.
Nothing else that comes out of their mouth is. It's just like two robots that were built to speak about football. All of
It's
it.
perfect. They're just the best duo.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I mean, you knew it too because of the commercials that they used to do, and that you know what I'm saying. Well, one of the brothers obviously, but the chemistry though, it's great. I mean, they need to do, like, obviously after this year, whoever picks them up as far as on like whatever, like they need to do games every week.
Oh my God, them as
Like,
commentators?
yes.
Oh, that'd be
Yes.
hilarious.
Now it needs to be primetime games, whether it be
Obviously.
Thursday night
Or Monday.
Sunday or Monday. Probably not Thursday because those are always shitty games. But regardless,
So I think that's making like a little transition away from commentators. So I think
Yeah.
Drew Brees might end up leaving commentating
And
for
doing
something like
something
this,
like that.
where it's like they would rather have professionals who've played that sport kind of like react, and it's kind of like turning into like what we talk about with that Twitch
Right.
environment where it's streaming at this point, where they're just
kinda
reacting to the game.
hanging out, sitting back.
And you
Watching.
love it. Like, yeah, let's
was-
call on a random
it was
guest and
fucking-
talk shit about all
Dude,
of
they
it.
had who was it?
It was
Tom Brady.
Draymond Green they
Last
had
night?
on last night.
Oh,
And
wow.
Draymond Green they asked him, oh, this was so funny. They asked him, Draymond, if you were talking shit to Peyton Manning, what would you say? He's like, give me a minute. Oh, no, I got one. If this man was so damn good, didn't you get cut from the Colts? And Peyton was like, I've been tore up a lot of times in my life, but this might be the best one yet.
Is that what it was? He did get released, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got cut. He got cut because of his neck.
Yeah.
And then they
Oh,
drafted
yeah.
Andrew Luck that same
Right,
year.
yeah.
They were like, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and
we're
do
done.
this.
Denver.
We're
They wound
done.
up to Denver.
But no, that's funny. Schedule for this next week and some predictions. Looks like our Thursday night game, we've got
My boys.
your guys' squad, New England,
That's an easy dub. I'm calling it.
at Atlanta.
Knock on wood.
I'm sick of this game being prime time. They
Thursday
keep
night?
making the Falcons game prime time with
Oh,
the Patriots
yeah.
because of that fucking Super Bowl. This is not a prime time game anymore. We kicked their ass every time. They had one close Super Bowl with us, and then we gave them a reality check at halftime and let them know you're still the fucking Falcons.
Still the Falcons. But so you guys thinking that's a
I'm going like I said last week. I said it was easy claps. This one I'm going to call a close game, so it's an easy clap.
but you guys got New England pulling that
Yeah,
out?
I got New
Yeah.
England
All
coming
right,
out
well, I'm
on
gonna
that.
go since we can go ahead and take these back for our predictions here. I'm gonna go on the opposite side. I think it's a trap game for you guys.
Jesus Christ.
I think you guys come in after the short week, and I think it's close. I'm not saying anything like that, but for some reason, I just feel Matt Ryan's gonna, for some reason, pull it out.
I think both coming out well. The Falcons.
No, the Falcons got their ass beat. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day,
wait, where is it?
It's at Atlanta. So that's what I'm saying. The only reason why I think it's a trap game, it's away. It's a close. You know what I'm saying? It's a short week. We'll see.
I'm gonna just say this: Mac Jones is comfortable in Atlanta. Come on,
And that's gonna make
Think
me
where
make
he
my
went to school.
bold
Think where he went to school,
prediction.
and who did he play?
I'm
twice?
making my bold prediction. Mac Jones
year.
throws for 300.
No, Mac Jones going off.
He's going
dude.
for 300.
He's going off. I feel he's going.
He's
off.
getting into a groove.
He's getting into yes.
He's starting to feel the team.
Dude.
Mac Jones for 300.
Hey, all right.
I'm so glad these get saved and put up. Now for multiple things here. Hey, listen. Next week he might be pulling up this fucking clip right here where I'm like, oh, I'm so glad these can be saved. He'd be like, yeah, I'm so glad these can be saved. Motherfucker went off for 350. Sup? And I'm gonna be like,
YouTube video coming. Dumb predictions of Justin and Tyler.
But. Or next week's gonna come about. Next thing you know, he threw for about 198 with 2 interceptions, and they don't win. And then I'm gonna be like, "Yeah,
that's week
run
5.
Run it back,
That was
run it
week
back."
5.
No, I'm just playing. But so yeah, all right. Well, that's our Thursday night game. Starting off on Sunday, we got Indianapolis at Buffalo. What are you guys thinking?
I'm definitely taking Buffalo for the guaranteed dub,
Okay.
but I mean the Colts could surprise us. They almost won against the Ravens. So it goes to show they can be explosive and fast against a big top tier team like that. But it's about maintaining that lead. Their defense definitely got tired second half, and Lamar just went off.
So you think Buffalo pulls that one?
But I think obviously Buffalo's going to pull it.
What you got?
This man's saying obvious, like Buffalo ain't been getting their ass waxed the past couple weeks.
Well, I mean, they had a great week. They had a great week this past week.
Yeah, this past week.
But the week before that, it was definitely.
So I mean, I think this is going to be a little closer because Josh Allen isn't throwing for 350 every game like he's been before.
Right.
And I think that these becoming 2 colder games, these guys are going to run the ball more. Indy's going to pull us out with a close one, actually. I think it's going to be like a 27-21 game, and Indy wins with 24-21 because it's going to be a field goal. Indy, though.
You say Indy.
All
All right.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go. I mean, it could go either way. I think, like you said, I think it will be kind of close. I'm going to go Buffalo on this one, though. Again, though, I think it'll be kind of close, something like kind of what you said on the score. But, yeah. We got Baltimore at Chicago. Who you got?
Baltimore.
Who you got?
I got Baltimore on that.
I'm going to go Baltimore on that one as well. Detroit at Cleveland. Are we going to have
Browns.
Detroit come in and keep giving our division some problems here, and then and we maybe beat or tie the Browns?
Possibly.
I
Depends on who shows up. Well, Baker
I mean,
Mayfield
it's at Cleveland. Keep that in mind.
I'm gonna say
they're
Cleveland.
the same damn QB. It's possible. Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield, they're the same damn QB.
I mean-
It's so possible. It's a very, very big possibility to that.
It's kind of a toss-up.
Like,
I still think Cleveland pulls this one out.
is Chubb back from COVID?
I still think Cleveland pulls this one out.
Okay, you got Cleveland. I think without Chubb, it's a tough game, and the Lions might actually pull the upset. But what do you think about that Packers-Vikings game? That's a division game. It's usually a rivalry game.
And it's at Minnesota.
Those are always good games, though, too.
Those are always good games. I think Green Bay pulls it out. I don't
Obviously.
say it's one-sided because Minnesota has been playing decent.
Yep.
Didn't Devontae Adams get hurt?
Nope.
He didn't
He
get
had COVID the week before.
hurt? Okay.
He's back. He had a
Yeah,
seven.
they're full go now.
He had like
I think about it.
77
Oh, yeah,
yards,
no, the Packers are definitely taking that.
something like that. Yeah, I think Packers walk away with that. Next one we got there. So who'd you have on that one?
I got Packers for
Okay,
sure.
Packers.
Yep.
What about Houston at Tennessee?
Tennessee. Texas don't know what the fuck they want to do.
I mean, I'm gonna go with
I mean,
Tennessee
they
on
want
that
to
one.
lose. Don't get me wrong.
So I don't know where he was going earlier with the New Browns. That's the New Browns to me. Houston is a mess from top to bottom,
Literally.
all over the organization.
literally.
So I think that's definitely the new Cleveland Browns. That's they got some terrible things going on from top to bottom there.
Next one, let's see. So it was Houston. We got Miami. Boring. Miami at New York Jets.
Miami.
I mean, I'm gonna go Miami just because they played pretty well this past week.
I hate to say it, but yeah, Miami.
I mean, I'm gonna go Miami over the Jets. What do you got there?
I'm gonna go to sleep during that game.
I mean,
but most likely it's probably gonna be Miami. I agree.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So, like on the side here, right? They have the ticket prices for these games, and this by far is the lowest ticket for the lowest price. So, like just an example, the Baltimore at Chicago, lowest price for tickets right there, $120.
Yeah, makes sense.
It is $22 to go see this game.
Might as well make the trip to Miami.
$100 difference, and that's just for the Baltimore Chicago game. Anyway, okay. So next after that was Miami Jets. So we are all going Miami there.
Yep.
Okay.
Miami.
Next we got New Orleans at Philadelphia. You got.
New Orleans does not have a QB. They do not have a QB.
But neither does Philly. I mean, Philly's got a consistent QB. They know who they want to use. But
Simeon is just not that guy. And I don't know what Taysom Hill's doing.
I mean, but what about this run game though? You think that run game's too good for Philadelphia?
Philadelphia's defense, or
Like, is it too good for? Yeah, I'm saying is New Orleans.
is that going to keep them in the game? Is the question.
What the
Because
run
Philly's,
game?
Philly's got receivers.
I mean, Philly's got receivers and a run
QB,
game.
And a run game. They're a complete offense.
who the fuck is their? Have you watched their games? I don't know who the fuck Jalen Hurts is, but he looks like a.
Well, okay, I'm basing this off of last week's.
I'm gonna. You know what?
He
I'm
did go up to
branding him.
Denver
I'm
and then he
branding
go-
him. He is
he
the
go with the
off-brand Cam
Broncos?
Newton.
Man,
That is the off-brand Cam Newton.
I'm just saying. I mean, just comparing, it's like apples to oranges. Like, all right.
Them apples are looking very similar.
right? Very similar apples. Next one after that. So we got. So who you got?
What was that game again?
New Orleans,
and
Philly.
Philadelphia.
Oh, I gotta say New Orleans. Yeah, you're
New
right. The run
Orleans.
game.
You got Philly.
Well,
Yeah?
I'm torn now. So I'm not thinking about the run game. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going Philly.
Yeah, he is.
Mark him down for Philly.
I'll go Philly. Yeah, no.
I'm gonna go Nolans on it.
Sorry.
So me and him will agree on that one. Nolans. Washington at Carolina.
Carolina? I'm thinking Carolina.
I'm gonna go Carolina.
So Carolina coming off a dub, Cam Newton coming off 2 touchdowns. Carolina.
And probably starting.
And then, so the thing is PJ was doing pretty good starting. So they might actually keep PJ at the
Keep this
start,
kind of
and they might use him in that Taysom Hill role until he knows the full playbook
full
in and out.
playbook.
So
Okay.
yeah, I could see.
I mean, I'm going Carolina though.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Everyone's agreeing on that. San Francisco at Jacksonville. San Francisco.
San Francisco, obviously.
Yeah, so that's San Fran.
Cincinnati at Las Vegas.
Oh, baby. Yeah, Bengals all day. Who that?
Bengals. Tilting over here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with Bengals with the
We can
struggling.
lose if we do stuff on our just mess up.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, shooting ourselves in the foot on some
Exactly,
bungle
yeah.
shit.
Yes.
I'm gonna go obviously the Bengals with it as well, just because the Raiders have been struggling so much on defense, and just in general.
So yeah, struggling on defense, and me and you talked about it last week with their personality issues, and they don't know really who they are as an identity.
Right.
I will take the Bengals on this, but
I don't think it's a blowout.
I was about to say I think the Raiders are going to be
They'll
a
keep it.
tough game
No,
just
for
because
sure. It's gonna come down fourth quarter and maybe not last drive type of a deal, but it's gonna come down to fourth quarter.
one of those last couple
situations.
plus possessions, especially since it seems like Burrow likes to give us a heart attack. It seems like he's okay last minute.
Letting us kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he thrives in that bullshit. He's just
That's
like,
it.
let's go ahead and lose for a little bit just so I can come in and ball the fuck out for a little bit.
Next one after. Okay, so we all got Bengals on that.
Yep.
All right. Next one we got Dallas. This is an interesting one. Dallas at Kansas City.
And both coming off really big dubs.
And it's at Kansas City.
I'm going
Dallas.
I'm going Kansas City. I think Pat Mahomes has a really good, really good day.
I want to say Dallas.
Okay.
I just think
It's gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout either way. But 100%.
It's a shootout.
Because Dak's been looking like Dak throwing 400. You know what I'm saying?
And
Really
and
slinging it.
Zeke's been consistent.
And Tony Pollard's not that 1-2 punch they have there's nice.
Yeah.
So I mean we'll see. So we got
I'll
Kansas
be the
City,
game to
Dallas,
watch.
Dallas. So that will be the game to watch.
Oh yeah.
Arizona at Seattle.
So
It's a division game.
It depends. It's all going to be based off Kyler.
it is
At Seattle.
If Kyler plays, it's
If Kyler's
Cardinal.
back, it's-
But if not, I think Russell has to have a comeback game because he's pissed off.
We got him.
So this one, like I said, I guess I don't know how we'll do this because we don't know Kyler's status right now, being Tuesday. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with how you said this on a stipulation standpoint. So I don't know how we'll score this. If Kyler plays, I say Arizona pulls this out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If not, obviously I feel Seattle's going to. I mean, Colt McCoy is not your answer. So
At all.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go same stipulation with that. Is that kind of how you're looking at it?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
Our Sunday night game, we've got Pittsburgh at the Chargers.
Sure.
I mean, I'm going Chargers. They already said Mason Rudolph is playing again this week.
Herbert for
Booty
300.
cheeks.
Yeah. I
Herbert
mean,
for 300.
yeah.
Booty cheeks. Steelers.
So-
Sorry, Steelers.
Yeah, I feel like the Chargers definitely pull it out. Looks like we're all in agreement on that one. Our Monday night matchup, we have the Giants taking on Tampa Bay.
Tom Brady's taking a dump on the Giants, but then again, he does have nightmares.
Man, he has super nightmares of that.
Every time he plays the Giants, it's always a tough one for some really weird reason for him. He has never really
I
played
know.
a complete
It's
game
almost a
against the
kryptonite.
Giants.
But I'm gonna go Tampa Bay
going
on this
Tampa
one.
Bay.
Now, do we have? Nobody knows yet. I have him on my fantasy. He's questionable. Saquon. I don't know if he's back this week. I don't think that plays too much of a factor. Even if he is, it'll probably be fucking.
Danny Dimes still playing? Daniel Jones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
Danny Dimes, no Saquon possibly. Yeah, I think that's going to be
That's
easy
still-
clap.
Yeah.
And I'm sick. I want to say easy clap, but every time we say easy
Man,
clap,
like
it might
last
be a
week you
fucked
came
up
back
game.
and bite us in the ass. So, so yeah, we'll kind of research and kind of take a look back on that next week. The fuck was that? Did you just try to fucking bottle?
He definitely just tried to do a bottle flip, bitch. Mid podcast.
I wanted to do
Hold
that
on.
shit. I'm like, yo, that's childish.
Hold
I was
on.
like, fuck it, I'm going for it.
First
It's
off,
fair.
it is childish. Second of all, there's no fucking water in this fucking water.
Oh, that bitch wasn't landing in that.
Man gone. See, at least he's got fucking water in it. Fucking dummy. Denver and the Rams are bye weeks this week.
Good, try to see them lose.
So
Gives it a
outside of
week
that,
to learn
I mean,
playbook.
that kind of brings us. Oh no, I ain't forgetting this week because you had to remind it and bring it back last week for me. Bring it
Fantasy
back
picks?
this week, yeah. Go ahead with our daily fantasy picks for the NFL. Let me go ahead and pull that up for us here. Oh, that was the home. I don't want that. I want lineup optimizer. All right. So let's see. This week, didn't have a bad week last week. I'll actually kind of get that together here soon to kind of moving forward to let us know how our picks were last week and how they would have done. I've got that, but I'm not going to waste our time right now. So moving forward with this week, here's our best possible lineup that we're feeling right now. For quarterback, we're going to go ahead and use Lamar Jackson going against Chicago. Not sure if Mac's hurt, but I do know that that DB core is not fucking good at all.
No, not at all.
So he could go off, you know what I'm saying, as far as with that, plus his legs. So I think he's got a good week. Projection about 26.5 points. And he's only using up about 8,400 with your salary. So that's a quarterback. Our first running back, we're going to go Devontae Freeman, also Baltimore running back. Next one is Myles Gaskin, running back for Miami, going against the Jets. Projection 11.5 points. Our first receiver we're going to go with this week is Cole Beasley, Buffalo receiver, going against Indianapolis. Next one, throwing him back in again this week, is Devontae Adams. I mean, I don't know how you
Short.
I don't
Yeah,
know how you
that's a
go
short
away
man.
with that. Another one this week, I believe we had him in last week, was A.J. Brown for Tennessee. Another pick, throwing him in again this week against Houston. First time seeing this year. Obviously, kind of been hurt, but at the tight end position, we're going to go Greg Kittle, San Francisco, going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I think he'll have a good one there. Flex spot, we got A.J. Dillon with the Packers, with Jones going down. Last week he's a power back.
Yeah.
So if they get him in the goal line there,
that's
within 5-10 yards. He had 2 last week, so I think he'll kind of go off again this week with that. And then the defense will pick Tennessee against Houston. Like he said and like you said, they're a mess from top to bottom. So I think it'll be an easy game for Tennessee defense, and that kind of concludes our fantasy lineup.
All right, so with our daily fantasy lineup, make sure on Sundays when we're actually, because that's when the actual daily fantasy happens, correct? On Sundays?
Correct.
So on Sundays, if you're looking for a daily fantasy lineup, Tyler's going to shoot me that lineup, and I will post that on our Patreon. Our Patreon has multiple different levels of what you would want if you want to become a member. For that, we're just going to go ahead and throw that at the $5 level. You join a Patreon, and you're going to get these daily fantasy picks that you can go online and actually.
And we'll have more picks. You know what I'm saying? We'll have at least 2 different lineups for you to kind of choose from on there. We'll kind of have one main one that we feel is going to be the best lineup, and then kind of a sub lineup as well that if you're not feeling that one, we'll have another pick for you. So.
But also with that, Tyler, you're really into the gambling side of football and stuff like that. Yes. So we could also do a NextUp same game parlay and we can post that up as well for you guys.
Yeah, we've got the odds and everything. See if we're taking that. That's definitely something we can do. I know we've got some experts, really just some guys that are looking to hone in on what they've got, that I think this would be a good opportunity for everybody to see what we're able to offer them. So check out our Patreon.
So yeah, also with the Patreon, we got things like I'm doing daily vlogs to check out, so you guys can see how we actually do the podcast setup, stuff like that, up in J24 Studio. Also with that, we're going to have soon to be just posts that me and Tyler do, maybe just 15-minute clips that aren't going to be available anywhere else on our Patreon. So just make sure you check that out. Right now, we don't have any content up with that, but I will make sure there's some more content up with stuff like Mr. Drip and Big Drip. With that, after this break, we're going to get to Mr. Drip, a.k.a. Big Drip, because I went with only 250 and bigger this week. And
damn, that means I could have fucking been in.
You know what? I'm getting sick of you juiced-ass motherfuckers coming around me with these 200 shots plus. But with that, we're going to go ahead, take a break here, and get ready for the semi-pro part of the show. Appreciate you guys.
Damn, Eli, that's crazy.
Smooth made it. How about something fast now? I been in my bag now. I just got my bag in. Baby, I can brag now. She ain't want me back then. I could blow it back out. Had to trade them feelings in. I could blow some cash now. Maybe we get too turned. Maybe we get too lit. You can smell that rubber burn.
Damn, Mila, that's crazy.
Smooth made it. How about something past now? I been in my bag now. I just got my back in. Baby, I could brag now. She didn't want me back then. I could blow it back out. Had to trade them feelings in. I could blow some cash now. Maybe we get too turned. Maybe we get too lit. You can smell that rubber burn. Pull up.
Damn, Mila, that's crazy.
Smooth made it. How about something past now? I been in my bag now. I just got my back in. Baby, I could brag now. She didn't want me back then. I could blow it back out. Had to trade them feelings in. I could blow some cash now. Maybe we get too turned. Maybe we get too lit. You can smell that rubber burn. Pull up.
Damn, Mila, that's crazy.
Smooth made it. How about something past now? I been in my bag now. I just got my back in. Baby, I could brag now. She didn't want me back then. I could blow it back out. Had to trade them feelings in. I could blow some cash now. Maybe we get too turned. Maybe we get too lit. You can smell that rubber burn. Pull up.
Damn, Milad is crazy.
Smooth made it. How about something past now? I been in my bag now. I just got my back in. Baby, I can brag now. She ain't want me back then. I could blow it back out. Had to trade them feelings in. I could blow some cash now. Maybe we get too turned. Maybe we get too lit. You can smell that rubber burn. Pull up.
Damn, Milad is crazy.
Smooth made it. How about something past now? I been in my bag now. I just got my back in. Baby, I can brag now. She ain't want me back then. I could blow it back out. Had to trade them feelings in. I could blow some cash now. Maybe we get too turned. Maybe we get too lit. You can smell that rubber burn. Pull up.
Damn, Milad is crazy.
Smooth made it. How about something past now? I been in my bag now. I just got my back in. Baby, I can brag now. She ain't want me back then. I could blow it back out. Had to trade them feelings in. I could blow some cash now. Maybe we get too turned. Maybe we get too lit. You can smell that rubber burn. Pull up.
And welcome back. All right, guys. So, as you guys know, this is usually our semi-pro portion of the show, second half of the show. With that, you guys know me and Tyler's background in semi-pro. We got our own in coaching, playing all throughout. But you guys don't really know our guest. DeAndre, what's kind of your background in the semi-pro world?
Man, so my background was my initial. I played wide receiver. I practiced with the Buckeyes, but that went down the tubes. Some family stuff happened. Then I went from there to the extreme. Played with the extreme for a while, and then till they became the Hitmen. Played with the Hitmen for a while, and then went to the Dukes.
That sucks.
From the Dukes to Rage.
That sucks.
And then Rage to the Blaze. There you go.
Okay, that's not that bad. That sucks too. That's nice. So, for us on the show, we have our very, very strong opinions about semi-pro, and they could get wild, they can get crazy. But really, what I wanted to touch on this week was, so we have tons of bowl games coming up. And we talked about last week what's the significance of the bowl game and stuff like that. So to catch you up, DeAndre, you know, in semi-pro, there's about like 15 bowl games a year that they end up calling national championships. And I ended up doing my research, and there are like dead ass like 17 different bowls across the nation that call themselves a national championship throughout. But I also found out that there were things like state championships and stuff like that. And did not know that other states participated in things like state championship. But Texas is so damn big that they're like, we don't even really need to go fucking play anybody else. We go play Oklahoma like maybe once or twice a year and kick their ass, and they don't even want to talk to us anymore.
Right.
So they just became and started making their own state championships. And California is the same way. With that, I was kind of thinking like, does there need to be a state championship for Ohio? Or wait, I honestly had a different idea because we brought up state championship last week, and we both agreed that it was probably needing to be a thing.
Right.
But what if we took it a step further and we made this a regional championship?
Okay.
And we got maybe like it's going to be hard to decide the location because if we do end up doing it in something like Columbus where we find it as a central location, they're going to be like, oh, it's in Ohio.
Right.
But I was thinking, what if we did something and we invited the best Michigan team, the best Indiana team, the best Kentucky team, the best Pennsylvania team, best Ohio teams. And you maybe choose 2 or 3 from each state.
Okay.
And they play in a tournament.
Run a tournament.
Yep. And then with that, single elimination. And then with that, you link that directly to a bowl game in Florida.
So now, so then how do you do this then? Do you run it to where it's, I mean, do champions of the league, are they obviously then?
So you can invite them, but I found that
they take it.
They won't take it. They're not going to take it.
Why would you?
Right. Why would you? Right. Like right now, if you're in the Charger situation, would you go in that tournament if they invited you?
Well, now they're technically in a bowl game, so yes. But, and even then they needed it.
Right.
Didn't need it. Could use it. Right.
Right.
But okay, so then to go off what you're saying, then to make it more enticing for a champion to go into a tournament to then prove yourself, even though you know you're going to get a bid. Mm-hmm. So really, that's where it's like, you know, maybe yes, it has a connection maybe to a bowl game, maybe, or you know, maybe that's just where your crown, like you wait though, you know, maybe this tournament is held later, or maybe that's where.
So I was thinking
we need to start reaching out to these bowl people and being like, we all should get on the same page.
So I didn't think that was going to happen. I kind of was listening to the PFL, and and they have the idea of eventually getting their league to expand to be nationwide and doing this.
Kind of like the GDFL or whatever.
Yes. I have a feeling this is going to be a 5-year plan for them. It'll be 2 years they're going to get, or next year they're going to get around Michigan, Illinois area, and then kind of expanding. So I think what we do is you set up 2 of these regional tournaments.
Right.
and me and you, Beth, definitely have the connections to do this, where we
100%.
easily could do this. And maybe with a little bit more connections to the other side of the country. But I was thinking we find the next high level of semi-pro, because I've looked at all semi-pro pages. To be honest, Cincinnati's different.
Right.
We are fucking different. Like
Right.
this Midwest area is really different on the semi-pro level
Yeah.
compared to like California runs the whole East Coast or
West
West Coast.
Yeah.
Texas runs the South.
Oh, yeah,
They run
right.
Well,
and
the
they're
Midwest.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Selling-
we're
selling
Midwest.
Midwest.
we're Midwest. Cincinnati
But
runs Midwest.
That's, so I guess Southwest.
And
Yeah,
some
Southwest,
Michigans,
yeah.
yeah, they run the Southwest, and then Florida, but Florida's not as public with theirs. I know they're really good out down there, but they stay in Florida.
They
Florida
stay
stays
very-
in Florida.
But there's enough. I mean, one, it's
Again,
big
it's big
enough.
as fuck,
You know what I'm saying? And
There's
the
enough.
competition is there.
It's there. It's there.
So-
So it's kind of like us with Cincinnati. Is like, why does everybody go back to the BCFL? Because all the fucking comps technically
And
here.
it's- Well, and like you kind of talked about it last week with talking to several of these other owners and stuff that you had talked to. I mean, it's a travel thing, because that's again where me and you have discussed, like, how can you make, how we've said, how can we make semi-pro better, and it all comes down to
Money.
Yeah.
and because, like they said, travel, man. Even the Chargers. If there's a Charger player listen on here, tell me I'm wrong. The travel, when it comes to Cincinnati teams, and again, I even said it for the arena shit, is fucking awful.
Horrible.
So how, again, any players listening, how as owners can we get them? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we make people so committed to go travel?
Incentive.
Like, but what? I mean, if we're
Don't pay for the
paying,
thing.
I mean, I said this again on our first week though. I said this on our first week.
Yeah.
For arena, and again, it wasn't arena 1, but it's a step higher, and we were going to a championship game, and I provided everything, and they still stayed back for a bullshit preseason in city semi-pro game. How do you? And you see these teams, other than a national championship game, and even then,
Yeah, they
you
won't make-
struggle to get people to go down. And I'm not saying it's loyalty, because people have to work. I get that. You can't take off a whole weekend sometimes. If you do, you know, or you got family. Or flat out, you don't have the money to travel and stay
Right.
in another state.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean? Like, and I know, and you know, you can, shit. You sleep on that side, I'll sleep on this side. I guess we save us some money. You know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
it-
Like,
it happens.
right? You
It
know what I
happens.
mean? Like, yeah, don't roll my way, but like, so I get it, but at the same time, it's just like, what do you do? Like, and that's what sucks, is like, there is no, unless big money comes into semi-pro football, which with the personalities, sometimes that's kind of hard, because again, they're not being paid. How are you supposed to punish somebody that, again, how loose it is now, that just could just turn around and be like, okay, well, fuck you, I'm gonna go play for this team. You know, I mean,
So, I think, all right, so what I've realized is, so my first year being an owner, I did, and I think I only got, $1,500 in sponsorship for us. Right now, what the Royals are loaded up with, it's about $4,000 compared, just because I put in a little bit more effort.
Right.
All right. I think that's what it really comes down to. It ain't really the money into semi-pro. It's just
Right.
finding the money that's there. Because Marcus
sure.
talked about it on his podcast. Shout out to the PFL's podcast. But he talked about how they really have to spend the fucking money. These corporations have to find a way to make
No,
their
for sure.
tax write-offs.
For sure.
So they have to spend this
to do
fucking
it.
money
I mean,
some way.
Yeah, they'd rather spend it on something like this, write a little check for it, and then not have to pay taxes on it. And I
Well-
get that 100%.
And you talked about it. It comes down to the paperwork. These guys aren't filling out the right paperwork.
That too.
That these guys don't know what they're looking for, and I think that's something that honestly should be on these type of podcasts' responsibility, is educating a little bit, and with that, me and you might need to get into the behind the business type of hour sometime soon where we
Patreon.
discuss. Hey, you
You're
know
not
what?
getting that you're not getting that free of charge on this.
You're damn right. You're
not
all
getting
right.
free
Plug.
information.
If you would like to see content about me and Tyler talking about the behind the scenes and how we generate money for our semi-pro teams and our arena teams and all the other programs we run, join our Patreon account. There's a $1 member fee that gets you access to just regular posts, and then there's a $5 member fee that'll get you access to the fantasy stuff. There's a $20 one. That membership, that's going to get you access to everything like this when it comes to the behind-the-scenes semi-pro stuff.
Everything.
And also, you're going to get early access to who wins Mr. Drip. So if you're entering in those contests, that's going to be a good thing for you. As well as we're going to do things like live Q&As on there. I know I've got stuff on there for, as well as just independent video sessions. So
And some of those Q&As aren't just going to be us and stuff like that. We will have some special guests on there that will only be viewed via our Patreon.
also with that, we can plug our knowledge goes beyond the semi-pro stuff. Tyler will also give information about not only gambling but crypto. Tyler's got a deep knowledge of crypto, as well as thing on NFTs and anything of that nature.
Literally selling NFTs as we're sitting here. So if you see me looking down, I do apologize. It is a prime hour for this stuff, and I cannot pass up. I mean, I know this is football talk and all that right now, but just to even throw this out there, just last week in NFTs, I pulled in $1,100 just last week off NFTs. This week I'm already up about $250 maybe.
Even sold the Mr. Drip for a couple bucks and got that.
I did. I think we've sold five copies of the Mr.
That's
Drip.
so lit, BJ. You're out here making us money.
Well, it's the, no. It was. There's a bunch of them on there. It's the original poster for the finalist of the Mr.
Oh,
Drip.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So there's
All
a couple
right.
people on there.
All right.
Repping.
Yeah,
So,
even though they told me the swag was terrible,
I
for
mean,
that
it's selling.
7,000 engagements.
It's-
Just saying.
It's selling. But no. Yeah, that's definitely stuff on there that will. I mean, again, we are looking to expand this to the next level, and on there you're going to gain way more than just, the football and stuff like that. You're going to see a different side of everything that we're going to be able to offer, not only with just us, just other, from other people as well. So.
All right. With that, I plugged Patreon enough. a lot of mindless and senseless plugging, but with that, we got to get into the thing you guys mainly came for. Mr. Drip of this week. We've been doing this bi-weekly. Last week we did the semi-pro team feature of the week. DeAndre, you're not hip to this yet. So for this week, I chose to do only big guys because I had a dude, William Berry, who honestly was dripping the shit out of the original post, and I wanted to put him in I put him in the finalists, but I couldn't get past BJ. But with that, I want to bring you Mr. Drip, aka Big Drip, this week. Oh, it is the wrong video. 1 second, I'm transitioning. Oh shit, I thought we had the right video up. It is wrong.
Was that the first one?
That was the original post. Why'd they do that to me?
Anyway.
Right, can you...
No. Small technical errors. This is what happens when you first start off with this kind of stuff. Yeah, right. Background music, thanks to DeAndre.
Right.
Shout out DeAndre.
I'm trying to just find what I did with that original video.
So the Reds win? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, what sports is going on right now? We got basketball,
College basketball.
college, but that's on up there. Houston beating Virginia, 67-46.
I have no dog in that fight.
I don't
I
think
have
many
no
people
dog
do.
in that fight.
I don't think many people do.
Let them fight. Let them fight.
For real.
Let them fight.
He said to death.
Like in Godzilla. Let them fight.
Oh God. Good one. You looking to come back semi-pro this year?
Yes, I do need to lose a little weight though, but yes, I do want to come back to semi-pro this year.
Okay.
Yes, I do want to play.
I heard you were looking to try to play quarterback.
Yeah.
Be careful trying out for that position. It exposes people.
Man, doesn't it?
To what?
What, man?
Well, could be good, could be bad. We'll
Could be,
see.
yeah.
You know,
Like, no
it's
joke,
good
man.
news,
I had to go up to the play with Dayton, play with the Ohio Rage. That's why I say what I say. But I love the Ohio Rage. They treated me well.
Oh yeah, now John and them they're funny at that level.
Yeah, but I went up there and their quarterback got injured the second play, and I told him I was an athlete. No, I am. I play both sides of the ball, but that was my first time playing QB as a snap since high school.
Oh shit.
Well, besides with the Saints when they let me throw a fake punt.
Yeah.
I had 5 picks in one half.
Jesus Christ.
No cap. One of the worst days of my goddamn life.
Like, oh God.
He said bad.
Damn.
So where are you looking to possibly
Oh man.
You got anybody on your radar right now? You're just kind of looking around.
I'm kind of.
Clean now. It's being on bullshit.
Well, let me know. So where are you thinking?
Oh man. I don't know, man. I'm ready to put the work in though. Figure that shit out though.
Plug Royals.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Plug Royals. With that, plug Royals.
Oh my God.
Carrying us through championships.
Yes.
But that is Big Drip of the Week. With that, I'm going to post up the next post for that tomorrow so you guys can start submitting early. To mention, our first submissions had 2,700 engagements on the first wanting to submit. The second the finalist, again, you guys had 7,000 engagements on the finalist one. And then with this past one, we only had 15 submissions with 500 engagements, guys. So it seemed like you guys didn't want to support the fat folks. You guys are fattest, all right? You're fucking fattest. With that, we're also going to introduce on Friday our next team feature of the week, and we are going to post that first on our Patreon. So if you want to know about that first, it's going to be on Patreon. But after, it's going to be posted on our Facebook and our YouTube. The video on our YouTube, the graphic will be on our Facebook. So if you do want to check out the video of the team we will be featuring, go ahead and check out that YouTube page. But I do want to get back into semi-pro. We were talking earlier about the bowl games and how to get guys more committed into semi-pro. I think the only way to really get guys more committed is to show them that we have more to offer than any other team.
Right.
And I preached this in my past couple teams, and I preached it when I was with the Saints, and they didn't listen to me at all with it as well. But the comments actually kind of did when I was telling the coaches about that. And they understood what they could do and what they couldn't with Dan the Man and what he could offer. With that, what do you think a team needs to offer in order to separate itself from other programs off rip?
I mean,
Exposure.
For sure, exposure. I mean, that's huge
exposure.
because at the end of the day, what are you here for, right? I mean, yes, it's an outlet. Yes, it's something to do.
We love the game on top of that.
And not everybody, the exposure is good for. But at the end of the day, though, a lot of these people just need the film to try to get to the next level. So I definitely think that's it. And I mean, like you said, it's the things that you can provide that either A, nobody else is providing, or B, that just go above and beyond what everybody else is also providing. I mean, and it gets hard. I mean, right now, and that's something I was gonna either bring up tonight or on another episode, and we can talk more later on this, but I think there needs to be, for semi-pro, especially to grow in Cincinnati, we need to somehow put a cap on how easy it is to make a team and how easy it is to get into these leagues. Because, and I get it, especially these leagues, because they're just looking to, like, now I know, like, PFL, it's not like a money grab thing because they're returning money,
they're
whatever.
basically putting it
but,
right back in our pockets.
But,
Saying
I
it's
mean,
so
at the
centric.
end of the day, though, they're going to accept anybody because they're going to take the $500 fee. Not them, but I'm saying any league is going to take any team that wants to come in if they've got $500 to get into the league. And to legitimize their league even more with more teams, right? Validating your league even more so. What we need to do, I think, is where we need to sit back and have an episode on this is where can we, like I said, somehow put a cap on this stuff, man. I mean, I shouldn't be able to walk out this door and just, you know what, I'm going to start a semi-pro football team tonight. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
what? Like, I mean, literally, he could walk out this door right now,
Dead ass.
go onto Facebook, plug a fucking
logo,
call it Cincinnati, and
The
here
name
we
is
are.
Cincinnati.
Sometimes you can be lazy and you don't even make up a name.
Yeah,
Just a logo?
No, you just take the team and you use an old team's name from an old basketball team that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, is that a Royals jab again? Oh, okay.
Dude,
I knew where you were going with it. I think I knew where you were going with it.
Plug Royals.
Like, no joke. Like, but
I mean-
this is the Royal story. One night I was tired of losing with the fucking Saints. I was tired of bullshit, and I woke up and I'm like, I can start my own. I can do my own. I can do this my fucking self. Who's gonna stop me?
I mean,
And I threw the logo out there, and all I told people were, the uniform's gonna be nice. I didn't promise nobody shit. I just said the new uniforms are gonna be nice. And I got fucking so many people from that.
I mean, they are nice though.
and they were, but my thing though, like with that, like, but here's the thing, like what you just said, like, but yours was also, like, you were successful though with it, and you have the drive behind it to make it successful, even if you weren't going to get the players. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wouldn't have gotten, if the Chiefs wouldn't have, Chargers, whatever you guys are, wouldn't have folded up, we know, you know what I'm saying, whatever, but you still would have had that drive to, okay, well, I'm still going to put the best of what I can.
Yeah, I mean, even
forward.
with that,
You know what I mean?
even
Like,
before they came, I still had 30,
what I
40
mean.
guys. I had a practice.
off of-
Hey, this was one of the wildest things I've ever did. But as a coach, I was an asshole. So I was also cheap and didn't want to get my fucking indoor facility yet. And I had a practice in December. And it was fucking negative 30 wind chill. Or no, negative 2 or 3 wind chill. And it was like 30 degrees outside. And I had 15, 16 players, and for a semi-pro practice, that's a regular number.
good number for outdoor
number.
games.
That's a regular
Yeah.
fucking number.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a
like I
good
said,
number.
I mean, but the effort's there, like,
Right.
and that's where, like, some of these, they just put together a team and, hey, we're gonna practice on Tuesday and we're gonna see you on Saturday, like, well, but what about the in between time? You know what I mean? That's where, like, you're like, okay, well, shit, I got some downtime.
Yeah.
What can I do to better my team, an organization as a
Right.
whole? You know what I mean? So it's like I said, there needs to be, and I don't know how that gets done. Like, how do we you approach the leagues? Like,
So-
and then what sucks is it's like, but then you can't, you really can't then. It's almost like a job where it's like, hey, you need to have this qualification to have this job. It's like, well, but if I don't ever have the experience, then how can I have this you know what I mean? Like, how
So,
can I do this?
It does come down to the leagues. So it comes down to what do you accept. And so they already have us in our rankings, AAA, AA, single A, and it is based on your league. Like, if the Chargers won the BCFL, even if they are considered a AAA team, they were in a AA league. They play a AA championship.
Correct.
What just needs to happen is there needs to be somebody that oversees all of them.
Right.
So there needs to be one organization that says these rankings happen, send it to all the bowl games, and let them do whatever they do with them.
Right.
And then from there needs to be, like, some type of obligation for AAA teams to maintain a certain profile. A AA team to do this.
Have to do this. And then
Yeah,
this
and
is-
an
yeah.
A team is just
But I mean,
those guys that
but-
join any team.
But then how does that so then how does that help us? Because not like that, not like us, but like how can we take that to where, because to help with travel, another thing too is limiting these teams in the city. Because again, okay, well the Raiders are going to go play in Lower Kentucky this week. Well, the Royals are staying in Cincinnati. Okay, well where are you going to stay? You know, if we were in different leagues, and because you have those. I'm on this team and on this team. Whether it's right or wrong, and whether there's a rule there or not, and especially with these other leagues, they still do it. They're gonna write John Doe on one and Billy Bob on the other.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're never gonna, other than pictures and stuff like that. But even then, so you've got those guys that did that. We watched that firsthand. Literally, we were hearing people that were trying to do that. Shit, look at what the thought was going to happen with the Royals Chargers, where it was like, hey, we're going to go into this league and you're going to go into this league, and
We're gonna
be almost like a filler, like, hey, we're going to send them down to you, okay, send them up to us, or well, we're going to make sure that you're home, so here, you're going to take these guys. Whether that was actually going to happen or not, it was rumored.
It was something like that.
But
it was something.
You know what I mean? So,
Close.
but then look at that though. Like, yes, it's a good idea because then you are then taking, okay, cool, this is going to be A team, this is going to be B team in a sense, but you're going to run this league and we're just going to run this league, and we'll help out where we can along the line.
So that's just where football is behind other sports, because basketball just now adopted
With
the G League
stuff. No, and I'm agreeing with that, but that's where I still don't think there needs to be 1 million teams in Cincinnati. It needs to be maybe 2 to 3 programs in the city, maybe, and then have them have the A team and the B team. So it's still technically, the same organization in a sense, but maybe that's where you send it, because again, we have such a deep pool of players in the city.
God,
yes.
And within to Dayton and to Northern Kentucky. So I'm not excluding them. That's just, because they all fill into this as well. But, that's where you just have that. You know what I mean? Like, you take away some of the Dayton teams because there's usually 2 or 3 there. You limit to where, again, there's maybe 2 in Cincinnati. And then maybe 1 more throughout the whole between Dayton and Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Like, that's where that 3rd team lies. But then, and it helps with market then, too.
I think the only way we get that is if we do get big money backed up. And the way to get big money backed up is to convince the NFL, the only people that can do it, or the XFL, if they really do actually, but just to adopt those leagues.
Right.
Like developmental.
So it's how basically AAA, AA, and single A ball
Like
works.
baseball.
Yeah. So how those work is those teams are adopted by the upper team.
Right.
But they don't literally manage shit on it.
No.
No, they barely put any money into it or anything like that. They just oversee it, and those are our players if we want them.
Correct.
So with that, those teams have to still develop and find the leagues.
Right.
And so with that, they like single A. They have traveling issues. Our guys going to come to this game for a couple $100.
Right.
And even in their contracts, it's hard for them to write that because those guys have to work regular jobs.
Right.
So it just comes down to you have to separate who is who and what is what, and identify. The thing is that right now, and this is something I've been adamant. This is why you guys fucking hate me. I don't care. We're not on the same level. We're not. Some of you programs are down here. I'm doing shit up here. You guys are down here.
Right.
And they didn't like that I was calling people out on that, but I feel like that's the only way we do separate it. Because
with that.
Yeah, because I feel like by me telling people that, one, I'm going to have a higher profile player wanting to come to me. Because he knows I'm going to hold a higher standard.
Right. Or it's going to make you up your standard and make a better organization to have better quality football.
And it will have better quality football in the end. I think that's what these league owners and commissioners are missing, is that if you hold a higher standard, you get a better result, which means you make more fucking money.
Right.
The thing is that, again, these leagues They had their 501c3s, but they're not fucking going for the goddamn sponsorships because they don't know who to reach out to.
Right.
When I put this in perspective for people in this business. There is a fucking 13-year-old that has some type of sponsorship right now on Twitch with probably only 150 people watching his shit. Think about, we have more than 150 people in our leagues, and they go and watch the YouTube videos that we post because they have to watch film. So you can show those numbers to sponsors.
Hey, watch what information you're giving away now.
This is what they need in order to fucking get these leagues to be better anyways.
Yeah,
But
hey, they need to pay for your knowledge.
plug Patreon.
You know, it's a business, man.
All right,
Justin,
right,
buy my
right,
book.
Right. But
real.
Buy my book for a small fee of $19.95.
But with that, use the fucking little shit you have to
for real, though.
offer. That's all it is. It's use the little shit you have to offer. The biggest thing I thought was bullshit is that, yes,
Film?
I gave just last week I gave credit to Slash for doing the film for the bubble season.
Yep.
But now I have to take some of that back.
Why?
Because why the fuck did we pay $500 and you couldn't go buy a $200 1080p camera? That shit was shot in 480p. What I mean by that is that shit looked like it was shot on a Nokia.
Yeah.
A brick phone?
Yes, man. Yes. And people were posting their
Bullet
highlights.
stopper type shit.
And with that, you also have to imagine that film was taken with Dan the Man sitting in the stands like this.
like that.
So it's not
real,
even
though.
like stabilized film.
And it's one angle.
Yeah, and it's one angle.
You know, like now I get it. You might not be able to, get it, but here's the thing too. If you don't have a million organizations where everybody's trying to do it by themselves, I mean, not to, what is it, 11/16, November 16th? Okay, we're getting close. So you might have some people that could come together and make some things happen, right? But like a lot of those people in the city can't do that because of egos.
That's
They can't
facts,
take,
though.
Like, well, no, I gotta have it like this. And this right here, which I think is the biggest downfall to the Blaze. I have no problem with Tony Brown. This is not, again, no digs at anybody here, but he's the owner. He's the head coach. He calls the offense and he calls the defense. Now, I could be wrong. This is just something I was told recently on how he runs things with that. Now,
So he did have a year where he did have somebody else calling the defense.
Yeah.
okay,
but
I
he's
thought
always
that was.
he's
I thought that
always
was the
had
change.
he's always had control of the offense.
Right.
And he's always been overseer of the organization. The only check in the whole system on him is his wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
She is the only
Yeah, no,
person in the
don't
whole
play.
place
Don't play.
that can check him.
Right.
Besides that,
I mean,
val-
no,
it's,
him.
it's
It's
sole
him or the highway.
dictatorship.
No,
It's sole
for sure.
dictatorship.
And that's where, I mean, again, no knock on how he runs his shit. He's got a great little organization on how he's doing it with his and how he organizes it. Maybe that's somebody that could, if we did some type of limiting the teams, just takes his own, what I'm saying, is kind of his own thing because he already has something established maybe. But like, he's not somebody that's going to come into an organization of a group of like multiples of owners or another owner or anything. He's not going to take it. You
So-
know what I mean? Like,
It was being rumored.
rumor mill.
It was being rumored that he was going to join a very not established organization, but a very well organized organization, and they were going to come together. It was a big rumor mill, and then I was told and shut down completely when I started spreading the rumor myself because I heard it.
So who
And,
was the potential? Was it the Dukes? 'Cause that's
I
something-
heard it was potentially with the Bucks. He was going to come and join force.
Really?
And I really thought if he would have done
I
that
would
and
not have seen that.
became defensive coordinator for the Bucks,
Right.
with Wheeler and
And-
Los, that's the strongest coaching core in fucking semi-pro right now.
Now, 100%. My thing is, does he have the ego check to take that back seat? That's where I'm getting with that.
The thing is, So my only question is like, is it a backseat? If he can look past, he's no longer the head coach. Like for example, I did with my organization right now. With you guys coming down and Sean wanting a new place to go, Sean looked for a new head coaching job, and I stepped down, and I was like, shit, I'm still the fucking owner.
No, right.
And if he can just get okay with the idea of three-way ownership, because him, Los, and Wheeler would all three be owners.
I guess then be owners. So really, okay, I see where you're saying.
And they all do treat it as an equal platform, and the only thing like that, I honestly could see that situation working out, and that being a fucking powerhouse program. DJ in the backfield with AD, with some of the receivers they bring over, and that O-line.
I know that
the O-line? Fucking
Well,
Courtney Cole?
That was their biggest, the Bucks' biggest, one of their biggest weaknesses that I was seeing was their offensive line. So if you add that to then...
And it's the Blazers' consistency. They are the only organization in Cincinnati that consistently has the same O-lineman. The same one.
Right. Well, so their communication... Now, here's the thing, though. Now, because you know I'm going to fucking talk shit about something. They are good, but man... Are you motherfuckers the weirdest built fat fucks that I have ever seen in Cincinnati?
Hey man, it's a Cincinnati
Plug.
Eating, bro. Cincinnati Eating. Come on, man. Think about it.
Plug J24 Athletic Complex. Come get your training in.
Right.
I mean, seriously though, no. Like I'm gonna be real with you. If you looked at them in pictures and they're standing next to each other, or even the way they fucking stand on the field, you'd be like, no, they're not. Like, you're gonna walk right through them, right? Like, and that's where the credit, I will give credit is due. They put up they do well. You know what I'm saying?
They're
like they hold their own. You know what I mean? But man, are they some fucking funky looking built fucking fat people?
O-linemen are not supposed to be pretty. They're supposed to learn how to block.
Man,
Hey,
did
no.
you not see our drip of the week?
Well,
There was no. I mean, he.
Hey,
that's
and with
different.
that,
I mean, all right, there's a difference.
with that, you could also look at other O-lines like fucking the Chargers, and you got guys that are built like KT. Kevin Thomas is like the perfect O-lineman
That's what
for
I'm saying.
semi-pro.
That's what I'm saying,
And then you
like-
got guys like Shamar Robertson, who looks like he stepped right out of a Division I school. Like,
I mean, look at.
there's a certain look that's supposed to come.
Right.
Why am I not thinking of his name? Tristan.
Fucking Tristan, yeah, you're
I mean,
right.
look at Tristan. Fucking shout out Tristan. I mean, that's a dude right there that when he gets in the stance, he looks like he fucking belongs there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he does is very, you know,
Technical.
Yeah, man, and it's just one of those where it's like, you know, but just some of these guys, again, I'm not saying nothing about their ability. Your guys' ability, like I said, you guys do what you do. You just look weird.
Oh man, I've seen some weird looking linemen though. What really be getting me is like when they're wearing them cleats and they're wearing the insides of those motherfuckers out so bad. Yes, I'll be like, bro, you need some new cleats. I'll be looking at it, I was like, yo, bro, you need some new
Use
cleats.
some tape, motherfucker.
Bro, he be having like socks tied around him and shit. I'm like, yo.
They're over here talking about cleats, but we know damn well there's a few fucking linemen that are still rocking their gym shoes.
In their
What?
fucking shorts, gym shorts, or some
What?
sweatpants. Yeah, man, Cincinnati semi-pro.
Just I said my bro is
Semi-pro in
different.
general. I'm not even gonna just say Cincinnati because I've seen some
Well,
shit.
actually,
over
with
the
that,
country.
with me being in different fucking pages, man,
Yeah.
I've been in almost every single semi-pro page that exists now, and
What's the most raggedy one you've seen?
fucking Alabama.
Shit,
Fuck, I was literally about to touch it. Bro, the
They're
people
wild.
in the South
Alabama.
don't give a fuck.
At all.
They don't give a flying fuck about this semi-pro shit. They're like, this is flag football with equipment.
Yeah.
Hey, and they really don't give a fuck
No, they
with
don't give a
that.
shit.
But with that, guys, we're wrapping up. It's getting around 10:30.
Oh jeez.
And we've been rolling on for about an hour and 45. We'd like to thank all y'all that came out. But before we get out of here, we want to let y'all know and do our senseless plugs on all of our other stuff. I'm going to go ahead and give J24 a great shout out here. We appreciate y'all letting us use the complex and stuff like that. Definitely gonna get this stuff together and get this complex to look like a really nice studio for you guys.
No,
With that, shouting out Growing Multimedia for all the graphics and stuff like that for us today, the big drip contest and stuff like that.
Hey, shout out Trap Alone.
Right?
Monster.
Hey, yeah, shout out Monsters brand Trap Alone. With that, hey, go ahead and move the mic over a little bit and do that because we know he's gonna clip this and get this on his thing. Go ahead and show that off a little bit. Yeah. Just go ahead and clip that for us real quick, Monster. We know you're going to get this on your stuff as well. But all of our senseless plugs and stuff like that, we appreciate you guys. If you guys want any of that insider information that Tyler would not let me give up, go look at the Patreon. It is patreon.com/NextUp_podcasting. Go ahead and check out that Patreon. We got many level tiers. If anybody, I am going to limit it to only 11 people. But if you join the $100 tier for $112 because we started on the 11th or November 2nd, we have tons of gear coming your way.
Oh, yeah.
Just know that. We have tons of gears. We just opened up a shop as well. If you guys can check that out for any of our gear. What was that?
It's a bunch of giveaways on that one.
Oh, yeah. A bunch of giveaways for that, especially outside of just the semi-pro stuff that we do. Business, crypto, any of that. Any of that stuff you guys are interested in. And to check out, of course, our daily fantasy picks, make sure you check out that Patreon.
Hey, make sure also on the Facebook, make sure you like, comment, share, hit the notification thing, because one thing outside of this show right here that we're going to be doing, since we're going to be growing, is you'll start to see random, kind of like he said on the Patreon, but for different things though, like kind of random shows or clips kind of throughout the day of some other podcasts and things that we're going to be looking to introduce to get out there that, you know, help you get you through your work day, check out later after your work day, whatever. Either way, we're just trying to put more content out for you guys. So just make sure you like, share, comment, and have that notification popping up for us.
Oh, yeah.
With that, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you joining us, DeAndre. Definitely going to love to have you again.
You was beating the shit out of, or never mind. They're just
Game just started.
But with that,